The Thin King and the Fat Cook. Once upon a time there was a very fat king who said to his very thin cook,
"Bake me a cake, the lightest, nicest, most scrumptious cake you've ever made."
So the cook got a big bowl and 2 dozen eggs and some butter and 5 pounds of flour and a pound of yeast. He mixed the flour and the eggs and the butter in the big bowl, then put in the yeast. Then he lit the gas, and when the oven was hot, he put the cake in. Soon there was a lovely smell of baking cake, and the king came running in.
My, he said. What a lovely smell. I'm sure it's going to be a delicious cake, cook.
"Oh, yes, Your Majesty," said the cook. "And it's going to be the lightest cake in the world. I put in a whole pound of yeast to make it rise."
"That's the stuff,"
said the king.
"But what's this?"
They looked round and saw that the top of the gas stove was beginning to bend, and suddenly, with a bang, it shot up in the air, and the top of the cake appeared, rising slowly. Said the king.
"Now look what you've done. You put in too much yeast."
The cake went on rising until at last it was pressing against the ceiling, which began to crack. The cook and the king rushed upstairs, and when they got to the top, they saw the cake had gone right through the ceiling to the floor above.
"Do something, my good man,"
shouted the king. The poor cook didn't know what to do, so he jumped up and sat on the cake to stop it rising. But it went on rising just the same, till the cook felt his head bump on the ceiling. A moment later his head went through the roof, and still the cake went on rising.
"Oh, Your Majesty, please go and turn the gas off,"
shouted the cook. The king rushed downstairs and turned the gas off. Then he got his telescope and went into the garden. The cake had stopped rising, but the top was very high up in the air.
"Oh, drat the man," said the king. "If he doesn't come down soon, there won't be anyone to cook the dinner."
Then he thought,
if the cook was to start eating the cake, he would get lower and lower.
So he called out,
"Cook, eat the cake at once."
"Delighted, Your Majesty," called the cook, and he took a bite.
"Oh, yum, yum," he said. "This is a nice cake." "Oh, stop talking," said the king, "and eat it up as fast as you can, or I shall have no dinner."
"Very well, Your Majesty," said the cook, and ate as fast as he could. But it was such a big cake that it took him 2 weeks to eat it all, and it made him very fat. But the poor king, who was waiting for his dinner, got thinner and thinner. So instead of the king being fat and the cook being thin, there was a very thin king and a very fat cook. "Never mind, Your Majesty," called the cook when he had eaten the cake and reached the ground. "I'll cook you a lovely dinner now." And he did.